I know you've been through in previous coaching staffs, you've been to maybe a tough start to a season or a tough stretch. Does the way you approach your players change during that kind of situation? Or is it really just focusing on the same things you do in terms of a process and under any circumstances?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a combination of both things there, Ira. I think one is you got to approach the players based on the circumstance and situation that you're in. Right now, nobody, players or coaches, are pleased with the start. So you got one choice from this point forward, and that's find ways to get better every day. And that's the focus. The way I always handle my players is I'm very honest, very direct with where we're at and what we need to do to get to where we all want to go. And just in my experience, that's been the best approach with it.
Hey, Coach, with Travis Jay a little banged up and his status uncertain for Saturday, who are you going to lean on in the return game? There's some extra guys you'll look at this week.
Sure. I feel really good about Keyshawn. He's a guy that obviously has done that in the past and has some experience with it. In the punt return game, I know Asante Samuel is going to be back there getting some opportunities. We talked about last week having Corey Wren having a chance to be back there, Jayshon Corbin, LaDamian Webb. So, there's going to be guys that have opportunities this week. And as we go through this week of practice, we'll evaluate where we're at. But I feel good about the group that we have back there.
Coach, you mentioned, your personal sort of philosophy is to be honest with these kids and let them know where they're at. A lot of these kids, sign up for Florida State and, ACC championships and all that kind of stuff. When you have to be honest and tell them just how far away they are from that sort of goal, how do you deliver that message? Is there like a sort of anxiety you have when you have to kind of break them down to them and kind of bring them down to earth?
No, and really, Aslan, it's not as much about bringing them down to earth, but just being real about where we're at. Our biggest focus and the biggest game that we have on our schedule right now is this one coming up. And, it's my job and all of our jobs to make sure that we prepare to the best of our ability to go out there and play our best on Saturday. So, all the big picture philosophy talk and kind of where we all want to go, down the road is less important right now, and it's more a focus on what do we got to do better to be the best that we can today. And if we can do that all throughout the course of this week and then go out and play well on Saturday, that's going to get us stepping in the right direction, and I think that's where we need to go right now.
When you review the film and you speak with your defensive ends, what's maybe a common thread or something that's noticeable that's preventing them from finishing plays, creating more pressure, getting in the backfield, and just making a quarterback move off his spot? Yeah,
obviously we got to do a better job of creating pressure. And, I'm sure that this has been something that's talked about already. When you're looking at creating pressure, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And, it's really easy just to say, hey, we got to do a better job because that's obvious. But, within the front structure that we were in a lot last week, we weren't on edges very often. And that was, as a staff, we felt like that was the best way to attack the game. When we have our opportunities to get pressure, we need to do a better job. And we feel like we do have guys up front that can provide pressure. And it's got to continue to be something that we improve upon as this year goes on and as this week goes. And we got to take advantage of the opportunities that we do have, because we did have some opportunities the other day to create some pressure, and we just didn't take advantage of it the way we needed to. So, it's going to be a continual work in progress. And, it's going to be an obvious point of emphasis for us on the defense.
Alex, had some struggles a little bit more so than the opener. Was it, you think, just being a different environment for the first time as a college football player? Was there anything technically or fundamentally he was doing different?
No, I don't think that, going in he was excited and he hit the ball really well in warm-ups. I think it was more of just a function of not really making great contact in a couple of his balls. he's going to have probably some of that up and down as he gets more comfortable, being in a college football environment. But, I'm not worried about where he is and what he can do. I think he was focusing, I know one of the points of emphasis for him going into it was a little bit more hang time. And, there's always a little bit of a give and take with everything. But, I just want him to relax, take a deep breath, and go with what he's naturally good at, and, not try to overthink it or overdo it, and just make good contact.